Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Today I'm gonna bring my friend Sam on. She's a mom of five, one on the way. She's a homeschool mom. And she also creates income from home. And she's gonna share with us how she got started, how she juggles motherhood, how she raises her babies, homeschools, and also has generated enough income from home to replace her husband's, which is amazing. So I'm gonna have her come on, share her secrets with us, and let me get her added in here. Hey Sam, how are you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I'm great. Can you hear me, Hallie?
Yep, I got you loud and clear. That's good. So I was just telling everybody a little bit briefly about you that you're a homeschool mom of five, one on the way, and you decided to do something amazing. You decided that you were going to start to create income from home. And you did it so well that you actually replaced your husband's income. And now you guys are homeschool parents to your family. So I wanted you to come on and share how did you start this? How did it begin? And maybe share your story a little bit.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This is something I'm very passionate about because my husband and I are big on freedom, right? And we're big on helping people become more independent. And so this this opportunity came to us 9 years ago by way of a friend. My husband and I were both in the military. We graduated from the Naval Academy. And then when you graduate from the Naval Academy, you have to serve a minimum of 5 years on active duty as an officer. So I served for 5 years on active duty as a Marine Corps officer, and my husband became a Navy helicopter pilot. So he actually had to do a minimum of 10 years as a pilot. You have to do 10 years. So we kind of knew what we had to do for at least the next 10 years as far as careers go. We knew there was no different path. And we were so honored and blessed to serve our country and to do, the military thing. But we kind of looked at our life down the road and we realized, you know what, we have spent so much time apart from each other in the military because we couldn't get stationed together. So we lived apart under separate roofs for the first 4 years of our marriage. And we just did not like that. We got married to spend time together and to raise our children together and to, do everything together. And then first 4 years of our marriage, we were apart. So we were in our young 20s and we started evaluating what do we want to do beyond the military to get that time back with each other? And it was at that point we realized we can't just go into a traditional conventional job because you don't have any control over your time when you work a traditional career or job. Ray could have gotten out of the Navy and become like an airline pilot, which is what a lot of people kind of thought maybe he'd do, being a pilot in the Navy. Or he could have done what a lot of our classmates from the Naval Academy do, which is, get a business degree and then go work at some, big corporation and kind of climb that ladder. And that's a great path if that's what you want. But we didn't want any of that. We wanted independence. We wanted to, even if it meant earning a modest living, we just wanted to spend our time with our family. And so we started kind of spinning our wheels about ideas of what we could do from home and what we could create even while we were still on active duty. And we would joke, we were like, oh, we'll write a book or we'll invent something, obviously, right? And obviously we're kind of joking, but I do believe that when you pray for what you're looking for, ask, seek, and knock, right? God will provide the answers. The answers aren't always a tree full of money that you go pick from your backyard. It's usually he provides an opportunity or puts somebody in your path that introduces you to something, and you have to be open-minded. And that's what we were. We were open-minded. So as we were praying about what we could possibly do, my friend and fellow Marine Corps officer came and shared with us a business that she had just recently started. And it was an online-based business, something she was doing from home. And Ray and I looked at all the information and we looked at, the product that they were representing, and we said, oh my goodness, this is a huge deal. We want to be a part of it in one way, shape, or form. We know we'll use this product personally for the rest of our lives. That was obvious to us. And we knew we would have a moral obligation to share it, just knowing what it was. But then when we kind of got connected with the business idea of how you actually share this with other people, and we learned about a different way of earning income that was never taught to us in schools, we were so fascinated. And then we would meet person after person who had created not just like a little bit of income on the side, but had done completely replaced their full-time income, maybe had replaced 2 full-time incomes and then some even. So when Ray and I validated that 1, the product was real, and 2, the opportunity was very real, we knew that we would just commit to it same way we committed to our marriage and make it happen no matter what. So for us, it was really like first we prayed about it. God put something in our path. We were open-minded. We took a look into it, figured out that it was definitely what we were praying for. And then once we verified it, we went all in, just learning, like crash course learning. And fortunately, it came with a whole team of people who wanted to help us, a team of people who had figured it out already. And we've just been following the leader ever since, and then teaching other people to do the same. And that's what over, the course of a few years helped us to have that option then to, choose a different lifestyle than the Navy. So it's now been 9 years that we've been doing this for a while. Took us about 6 years, I would say, to fully equal my husband's income as a Navy helicopter pilot. And it took, and then we were able to double and triple what he was making. So by the time he could get out of the Navy with no military pension, nothing, not a dime from the Navy after serving for 11 years on active duty, you have to do 20 years to get any kind of retirement. We were able to fully sustain our lives with 5 children now, whom we homeschool. We've got our 6th on the way. That might be a surprise to some people right now in this video. I'm realizing that I haven't totally gone public, but surprise.
I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
that's cool. And then we just moved. We were trying to decide where we wanted to live, in the country after all the craziness of the world, because my husband literally got out of the Navy 2 years ago, which was exactly like a month before the whole world shut down. And so all we were trying to figure out was, well, where do we want to live now that we can go anywhere? And we finally settled in Virginia, kind of near the Blue Ridge Mountains. And we're very blessed to be able to buy a very large property where we're now homesteading and, raising our children and getting to really live the way that we feel God is calling us to live, and instilling our values in our children, and then helping other people on that same path who want it, who really desire that.
I love it. It's just amazing. Like, you have such an amazing testimonial of the journey, and it definitely took some time, but I love how you guys were committed and you just kept doing the next right thing, and like, here you are. So it's awesome. Well, tell me, like, peel back the curtains a little bit, because I know at the beginning of this, Ray was working still as a Navy pilot, and you were juggling motherhood, doing this business, homeschooling. I know you both do it now. It's like together, but like, can you just give us some tips on like what that looks like and how you do all the things? Because sometimes I think when people hear that, they're like, huh, how could I do that? So.
Yeah. Well, I will say Ray and I were both from the very beginning 100% committed to this together. It wasn't like my little thing. It was, we both saw this as the vision, as our vehicle to create the life that we wanted together. And so while he was sort of in and out because he was deploying, like right after we got started, he left for a 10-month deployment to the Middle East. So obviously during our first 10 months in this business, it was primarily me, like learning and doing the things that we need to do to start growing it. But as he came back, he would jump right in and he would be like, reading all the material that he needed to read and like learning as much as he could from afar, so that when he came back, he could step in and just be right there with me. So it's been obviously a full effort together. But I will say that the thing that made it possible, because actually when we started this, I was still active duty as well. So I was active duty. We had our oldest daughter along the way. He was leaving for a 10-month deployment. And I was working 13, 14-hour days as a Marine. And so I would do that. Then I'd go pick up my daughter from the daycare on base that I had to have her in at the time. And then I would come home, I'd make her dinner, make us dinner, put her to bed, and then I would get to work. And to me, that's the reason that we were able to build this type of business, is because there's not really a business that you can start where you're going to say, oh, I'm going to work from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night every night for, you know, the next couple of years, and then it's going to replace our full-time income. Like, that doesn't exist. You know, like, that doesn't exist in a traditional business. You're not going to go open a Chick-fil-A franchise and work 2 hours at night every night and then replace your, you know, your full-time income in a couple of years. Like, you can't do that. When you start a traditional business, you have to quit everything else pretty much and dive full on, full-time hours, 100% of everything. Usually you have to invest thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a traditional business. And I know firsthand, my dad, his whole life has been an entrepreneur and has a manufacturing company in Pennsylvania for 35 years. So like, I know the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into traditional business. The difference with this model of business is that it comes with all the logistics. It comes with all of the product formulation. It comes with the team. It comes with all the legal stuff taken care of. It comes with all the pay stuff taken care of. So like, our only effort in this business is being the word of mouth, using the products, sharing them with people, helping to educate people if they're interested, and then connecting them to also the information that like there's an opportunity for them to do the same if they want, to have their own website to create a little bit of income or a lot of bit of income if they want to, right? And so because it's so something that you can kind of fit into the nooks and crannies of your already busy life, it's doable. And because there's this compounding effect that works in this type of income, which is considered leveraged income, you can start small, learn little by little, grow, you know, connect with more people, and over time you can create a large network of people who are now using these products, and you're getting paid for that effort, right? So that's what happened. And that's because I was working in the little nooks and crannies of my time from like 8 o'clock to 10 p.m. when I would put my baby to bed. And then once we started to learn how to utilize social media in a more effective way, because when I started, it was old school. For the first 4 years, we didn't do a thing on Facebook or online or anything. So I was having to make phone calls to people that I knew and just see if they wanted to take a look. And that's so outside of my comfort
So
zone.
terrifying when you say that.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
goodness. I still have heebie-jeebies thinking about it. But you know what? We did it. We did it, and we did it from our heart because we truly believed in this. Like, it wasn't even like cheesy to me because I believed in it so wholeheartedly. Like, even if somebody didn't want to say yes to this, I felt like a bad person if I didn't offer it to them, right? Like,
yeah.
I sometimes think about my life, our life right now, and I think, man, what if my friend Sarah never thought to call me and even give us this option? Like, I can't even imagine what our life would. Well, our life would either be my husband would still be in the Navy and he'd be deployed to who knows where, and being forced to take who knows what, um, or we'd be out of the military and he'd be working some job that would be taking him away from our family once again. Instead, our days are, we get to be home full time together all day, every day with our children. Like, my husband's planting gardens with our kids, teaching them how to shoot and hunt and like fish and do all these things that
Wow.
I can't even imagine. Like, if we didn't have that opportunity presented to us, it wouldn't even be a possibility. So anyway, all that to say, the reason that I think we were able to do it, even though we were busy, even though we had little children and we had both full-time jobs at the time, it's because you can work in little pockets of time, and that time compounds and you can really create something, as long as you're not looking for a get rich quick. Like, some people, they have to understand that this is different than working a job. When you work a job, you work 8 hours and you get paid for the 8 hours you worked. When you do this, you might work 2 hours a day and you might not see any like immediate result, but over time, over a year, over 2 years, you're going to see that, wow, what I was doing in those little pockets of time was really compounding and allowing me to connect with more people that for a long time is going to help our family financially. So it's just a completely different way of thinking.
Yeah, well, and I think a big part of this too is personal growth and development and mindset. And I mean, you grow in so many ways as a person too, and just strengthening your mindset to remember, like, why you're doing this and it's more for the long haul. But I mean, look,
Mhm.
my gosh, like, who, how many couples do you know that get to say, yeah, we get to raise our babies, plant gardens, we're together, we can do whatever we want. We don't know where we're gonna live because we can live wherever we want. I mean, that's amazing. So it's totally paid off.
Holly, I know a lot of them actually, but I only know them inside this profession. Like,
Yes,
I
yeah.
1,000 of them that do have that option, like Ray and I
Hmm.
have, personally. But no, outside of network marketing, I don't know who has that. Maybe famous people, but even famous people, they still have to go, like, if they're a movie star, they got to go record a movie all on site, on location, for maybe months at a time. So, like, honestly, I don't know who else has this ability.
Yeah, like the average person, no. And what you're describing is truly the American dream. I mean, we think of the American dream and like freedom and choices and all of that. It's absolutely amazing. So I love it. And I love how you do it in the nooks and crannies of the day. And so tell us, like, if somebody's watching and they are considering, maybe they're a stay-at-home mom too, or they, I don't know, for whatever reason, they're like, yeah, I really want that. What would you tell the person that's considering doing something like this, that's maybe on the fence?
I guess, for one thing, like, why not? Like, what would be the reason not to do it? To at least try, Now, I don't necessarily believe in the concept of just trying something. I'm more of like a, you commit first and then
Yeah.
you make it happen. That's more my personality.
Mhm.
Because this does work for those who work it. The only people it doesn't work for are those who quit, right? That's anything in life. But I would say, like, there's not really a downside. It's not like you're losing anything. I think sometimes people think, oh, if I join a business, I'm going to have to waste lots of money and waste lots of time. In my opinion, nothing is wasted here with what we do. For one thing, your overhead monthly is what you consume, the products that you use. And once you understand these products, you know that you'll never live without them. So, like, and they're going to replace probably everything you're already taking anyway. Like, if you have a cabinet full of vitamins, like a lot of people do,
Mhm.
you're just replacing that, right, with something that's way more effective. If you are, concerned that your time is going to be wasted, like I said in the beginning, we have a system that literally is so automated that you get a text message every day for your first 30 days with your 30 minutes of homework, and that's it. Like, if you do that and you do your 30 minutes of homework that the text message tells you to do, you're done for the day. So to say it's a waste of time, well, first of all, 30 minutes, I mean, if you can't if you can't carve out 30 minutes a day for something that could potentially, help and bless your family in ways you never imagined, then you're not ever going to have that in any endeavor. But the other thing is, nothing's wasted, because even the work that we're doing, we're learning about how to help our families be healthier. We're learning about how to help our mindset grow stronger. We're learning how to be stronger in our faith, because you have to be a person of faith to actually make this happen, because there are going to be times when you're going to be so discouraged by people's reactions, because people are strange, right? People have different reactions to things. And
Mhm.
so you have to have faith that like, if God wills this and if this is the right thing for you, then you will make it happen. So I don't think there's anything wasted here. And even the upfront investment, we talked about thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars for a traditional business. For this, you could get started for as little, I mean, this is the way low end, $150. You'd have your website up and running. You could start your business right now. We might recommend that you do a little bit more than that, but you actually could do this business with $150 up front, and that's it. So, like, to me, I can't really think of too many reasons why not to dive in. And if you have questions, like, let Holly answer every crazy question you possibly could think of, because the worst thing would be being so skeptical that you miss out on this. Like, be skeptical in a healthy way. Be skeptical in, like, I want to find out way, not like, oh, skeptical, like, that can't be real or that can't be that good, like, because it
Mhm.
is that good. It would be a shame to miss out on it, if that was the only reason. So
Mhm.
that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I love that. Well, it's really amazing because up until a few years ago, I really didn't even know that number one, such an amazing product existed, and number two, like that there were so many families doing stuff like this. Like that was never in my world. So
No.
it was just mind blowing to me. And then I came home and I was like, Ryan, you have to see this. This is like amazing. And he's like,
Yep.
okay, like, and then he came and he got exposed to the same people and he saw like all the things you're talking about and all these other people doing it. He's like, holy cow, this is amazing. Like, and so it's just, I mean, it's this whole other world that like we're very, very blessed to be a part of, and very blessed to also let other people be a part of if they want to. So
Yep.
thank you so much for sharing your story and just all that you and Ray have accomplished and done. It's amazing. And if you guys are interested in learning more, we have a couple options for you. We have a Facebook group that's amazing. It's filled with great business advice, tips, all the things that you would ever want to know, and also a short little video that you can watch with you and your husband, see if it's a fit for you guys. So with that, I'm going to let you go, Sam, but thank you so much for sharing. And guys, comment below or send me a message if you have questions or want to know more. So I'll see you later, Sam.
Thanks, Holly. Bye-bye. God bless.
Bye, you too.